Lady K.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for men and women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be spoken upon, such as relationships, health and wellness, personal development, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lady K Chat podcast. You are here with your favorite host today, Lady K. And before we get into today's topic, I would like to tell you that today's show is sponsored by Lady K Enterprises, which we are a financial service firm, which we help you to start your business, which means we can help you register your business to all the way till we can help you expand your business by hiring a team, and that's utilizing our virtual assistant services. So if you have any additional questions, you want to learn more about what we do, you can visit the website above at www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. So now, let's get into today's show. Today's show is just talking about being a great sower. So I'm going to tell you what's the benefits of being a great sower and what does it mean to be a great sower. See, a lot of people, when they hear the word sow, automatically they just think monetarily. Sowing does not have to be monetarily. And to be honest, this is just put you in a position where you are given unto others without expecting anything in return. Yeah, so a lot of us, we say, I did this good deed for that person and they didn't appreciate it, when it came to me, they didn't do X, Y, and Z. And that's not what sowing is. That's not what sowing is. And I think a lot of us have that misconception that, when we do good and we flow good into someone else, we're expecting. That's the key part, the expecting part. So expectations put a separation between us and people because of what we have done for them. Now, I do want to say this. You do not want to be around someone who is going to constantly take advantage of you. That's not what today's show is about. It's just putting you into perspective of what a good sower is and how you want to make sure that you are doing the things on your behalf because you want to, or it was a message in your spirit to do something because you just never know. That person may have needed something from you, but they couldn't open their mouth to tell. And there's so many people like that. I know we wish people can open up their mouths and tell us what they need, but sometimes because of the world that we live in, people are so harsh. So this is why sometimes God has to speak to your spirit, man. And a lot of times, we say, I don't know why it was in my spirit to do such and such, but I did it. And that's a great thing because, again, that put us in a position to be a great soul because it's like they said, God knows our thoughts. So he knows what's on our heart. He knows what's on our mind. And sometimes he will send that right person on the perfect timing to go ahead and sow that seed into you. So let's talk about being a good sower. So like I said, it doesn't have to be monetary. You can actually take the time and just do something nice for someone. Somebody can say, hey, I need a ride such and such. Can you perform it? And if you can, go ahead and give that person a ride. Somebody might say, hey, my baby doesn't have diapers. Do you know of a good place where I can get diapers from? So either you can put it in your spirit that, hey, I'll go ahead and provide the diapers, or you can provide them a resource where they can obtain these things. And that's another good thing too. Being a resource to people, letting them know where they can find these things, that's being a good sower because you are out there giving good deeds, good information. And like I said, your heart and your mind is clear because you genuinely want to help them. So now that I just said, it doesn't have to be monetary. It can be as someone got it in the right direction. It can be if you doing something in the community, because we already know in order for us to serve our community, we have to be out there in the community. Okay, so just by putting yourself out there, even if you decide to donate your time to an organization that may need your help, that's a wonderful, good thing too. That's a part of sowing, So I say this as well too. When you sow, do not go in it with saying, hey, I'm sowing because I want something in return. Remember, this is killing our flesh to expect things, because we already know when we expect things from people, it really does hurt our feelings, because we realize, wait a minute, I'm going above and beyond, and I don't feel like, nothing is happening in return. But let me tell you about sowing. Things come back to you unexpectedly. Things come back to you in the ways you don't even think about it. You could have sowed into someone's life, and just unexpectedly, when it was for your time and your need, you got something unexpectedly. That's what it's all about. We are here. We are put on this earth to serve one another. That's what we are here for. Sometimes we misunderstand that. We think we're here to, and there's nothing wrong with this. Oh, I want to create generational wealth. There's nothing wrong with that, because you want to leave an abundance to your inheritance, for the people that's going to come after you. Yes, you want to create that generational wealth. Yes, you want them to be in a good financial position. Absolutely. You should have that mindset, because you are actually sowing into your future. You are sowing into your kingdom. You are sowing unto your unknown generations to come. And that's another area too, serving into your family, which is a wonderful thing. But I'm just trying to get you into the concept of someone outside your family, because again, like I told you, we are here to serve one another. So when you serve, right, you're probably saying, Kalima, when you serve, what does that bring you? So I just want to share a real quick testimony that I experienced. And it was like a wow moment for me. And this is when I first start, growing my relationship in the Lord. And this doesn't mean that I'm forcing what I do on you, but it just puts you in a perspective of being a good human being, So my personal testimony was that one day I was at church and it was doing an altar call, right? And in the altar call, it was, I think the pastor said something to the degree is, whatever God is placing on your heart, do it. Don't fight it. And at that time, I kid you not, I had like $20 in my pocket. And I kept saying, Lord, how am I going to get to next week? Because the following week, that's when I got paid. How am I going to get to the next week? And I only have $20 in my pocket. I don't know how I'm going to do this. So I happened to see somebody, and the Spirit said, give that person $20. And I said, what? I said, I'm up here telling you, I don't know how I'm going to make it in the next week. I have $20 to put in my gas tank, and I don't think that's going to make me, that's going to last. How am I going to do it? And you're going to tell me to give this person $20? And it kept nagging me, give that person the $20. So I said, okay. But luckily, I think I had a half a tank in my car. And I'm like, okay, he told me to give the whole $20 to this person. So what I did, I was obedient. I gave the $20 to the person. And at that time, yes, I was working my 9 to 5 too. And I was also at that time, I was a stylist. I used to braid hair. So the next day, I got a phone call from somebody, and they say, hey, Kalima, do you still braid? And I say, yes. They was like, well, I need my hair done. How fast can you do it? Because I need it done ASAP. I just have to tell you guys, the amount of money that I gave that person, and for when that person asked me to do their hair, it was 5 times more than what I gave. And that right there blew my mind. And that was one of a few experience how it showed me when I release money and I just give it, and I do it with out of the grace of my heart and not expecting anything back, and how it came back to me. just blew my mind how God put me in a position where he remembered me because he know I needed it, but he blessed me because I blessed somebody else. And like I said, right now we are in the season of blessing. We're in the season of blessing people. We are at the end of the year. And so many people are going through so many financial hardships. So again, you never know who you might want to bless. And because, like I said, we are in the season, this is the reason to give, because we are in the season. But I have to say this too. Once you start preparing your mind for this, like, oh, I'm just going to just go ahead and go out there and get these. Once you put it in your mind, it becomes natural. And then when it becomes natural, you don't even think about what you expect back, because everything that you ever wanted, everything that you ever needed, it comes back to you. And I believe this is in the law of attraction too. One of those books by one of those gentlemen in leadership, and it goes hand in hand of what it says in the word, that sometimes when you continue to focus on other people, if you go ahead and help and serve those in needs, everything that you need and you want will be taken care of. So I'm telling you this because this can help you prepare your mindset, and this help you get out the selfish mode, because guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of us are selfish. A lot of us are selfish, and we hold on to things. And I didn't tell you to go out there and be silly and be stupid and be irresponsible with your money. That's not what I'm saying to you. But what I'm trying to teach you is sometimes we have to learn how to let go of the things that we have a hard time letting go. Just like sometimes it can be something valuable to you, as something like your shoes or an item or something like that. You're holding it onto it, but you don't need it, and someone can be more in a need of you. But when you let go things of that nature, it will come back to you in an abundance. And again, we have to get into that mindset of wanting to do so, because at the end of the day, it would be nice if we, like I just said, I gave my my personal testimony. It'd just be nice that, when you're at your moment, because we all have our highs and our lows. So if you're at a low point of your life, and this is, when your emotions is everywhere, because we're human beings, we have emotions for a reason. So when you're at your lows and people pour into you, because when you was at your high, you poured into others, oh my gosh, it will make you so humble, and you'd be like, thank you, Lord. I appreciate you putting me in this position, because it just let me know that the people around me care. And at the same time too, sometimes a stranger can come out of nowhere and just bless you, because let me tell you something that happened to me multiple times. And I do want to share, again, I want to share a simple story, how I was playing pity on myself, and someone said a word to me, and it just changed my whole perspective. And I remember one day I was in New York City, and I was on the subway. I can't remember what I was mad about, but I was so upset, right? And I'm sitting there on a train with my face all powdered, and it was a homeless lady, and she walked past me, and she said, "Whatever you're going through, babe, I'm pretty sure it ain't that bad. Have a blessed day." And I paused for a moment. And I said, wow, I have so much to be grateful. She has no idea that she has sown a seed into me. And just because she doesn't have a roof over her head, it does not mean I cannot take that message and take it and run with it, because she has no idea. At that moment, I was in my low, and she blessed me by telling me it ain't that bad. And I had to check myself, because I said, wow, look at her. She doesn't even have a home to go to. And I do. I have some place to go to, and I have some food waiting for me, warm food to be put in my belly. So again, you see how I just showed you how I blessed someone. I wasn't expecting anything in return. And then at the time where I was low, someone sowed a seed into me. And this is what we should be practicing all throughout the year, because it helps us to create a selfless person. And I believe, and I believe this to the highest, I believe that is what they call being rich. And I believe it's in the word too. Though I can't remember which verse it is, but that's rich right there. When you can do selfless acts and be fed on the abundance of people pouring into you, just doing nice and kind acts. It makes you humble. It makes you appreciate life. And it also makes you too, as a human being, when you're doing this, you remember you're planting the seed into the young ones. Yes, especially those around you, especially like your children, maybe your niece or your nephew, or so maybe someone that highly looks up to you and what you're doing. Because when they see you do it naturally, then you're sowing a seed into them so they can continue up the torch when it's their turn. And then you are, because you put yourself in a great position, you are putting them in a great position to be leaders. And that's how leaders are born, by sowing into others. So everyone, I hope that word resonated with you. I didn't want to be too long, but I just want to continue to remind you. Lady K wants to remind you, you are not by yourself. Continue to flow into people, continue to sow into people, continue just to do good deeds, because this is what a good person does. This is what a leader does. You do not have to have a name. People don't need to know your name in order to know that you do good deeds. And that's another thing too, to put yourself into check. Who are you really doing it for? Are you doing it because you want to go out there and be that selfless person, or you're looking for recognition? So you really got to check your spirit on who is it for. So with that being said, everyone, I hope you appreciated this message tonight. Again, continue to sow into others, sow into yourself. And I thank you for listening to me tonight. Again, this show is sponsored by Lady K Enterprises. If you know anyone that's in need, that need to start their business, that need to expand their business by hiring assistants, we are here to serve your needs. And you can always visit again that website above at www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. And everyone, I want you to have a great night. Lady K.